Hey, mountain climbers, welcome to the first race of the Global Speedrun Association Celeste Any Tournament. We have a race for you today between Davesterio and Blueye95, and they are with me right now. Hi, guys.
Yo, what's going on?
Hey.
Yeah, I'd ask if you were excited to get things kicked off here, but apparently, if you are getting this scheduled as the first series.
Yeah, I'm leaving for TwitchCon, so I had to get this, while we had the time, so.
Yep. Thankfully, we were able to find the time quick enough.
Yeah, really appreciate Blue Eye.
Yeah, definitely good to get that started right away. So, obviously you guys have been, running this game for a little while. I know I recognized you both from the, other races. So how do you guys feel about your runs to this point? Do you feel practice has been going okay?
How are you feeling, Blue Eye?
So ever since I recently PB'd like 11 days ago or something, runs have been going quite bad for me.
Oh no.
But I've been working on some new strats for myself and more consistency, and we're slowly getting back to where I want to be.
Yo, nice man. I was playing on the Nintendo Switch for the longest time, and recently decided to make the Switch over to PC.
Ha.
So I've been getting
Nice.
used to had to do it, been getting used to the DualShock 4. Feeling pretty good, honestly. I get a misdirected dash every once in a while, but been feeling pretty good. The wall bounces feel a lot better on a PC, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's like a larger window playing on PC as opposed to Switch, I think. So yeah, that's
All right, with the patch, of course.
Yeah. Also, the Seekers operate a little bit differently. Like, the explosions can actually activate the coins, and you don't need to have them on screen for that to be a thing. On Switch, you do.
Yeah. You can see how
nice.
that can be annoying sometimes.
Yeah, definitely some minor quality of life improvements. So I think I'm gonna be letting you get to racing here in just a little bit, but first I want you both to try to pronounce your file.
Oh, no.
Okay. Well, that's of course the best file name in the world. That's ADFMD.
FMDXJ.
You know what? Perfect. I think that's good. So yeah.
I think we're just waiting on the countdown.
All right, yeah, I think that's going to be it for the pre-race interview. So yeah, I will let you guys get in for racing here.
Yeah, thanks for the comment, by the way.
Yep. And
and just thank you for the race. Yeah.
Good luck, have fun, and don't die in prologue, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, best of luck to you, man.
All right, so runners are going to be getting underway here in just a second. So yeah, this is going to be a best of 3, so we're going to be getting at least 2 races between these two. So yeah, I'm excited for this tournament to kick off. I'm excited for the series to kick off. Yeah, it's going to be a really great time. Really just solid watch. If you've never seen Celeste before, this is a really fun game. And if you have seen Celeste before, it's still just like a really beautiful speed game to watch here. All right, so we're getting underway here with prologue, and we're not really expecting, as Blue Eye wished, for anything really unexpected here to happen in prologue. We're just going to be jumping all throughout this chapter because jumping does these little bunny hops that these runners are doing are going to be saving just a little bit of time with each hop that they perform. All right, and perfect prologue for both players. We should be seeing about 43 seconds, but once they get into Forsaken City, the first chapter, that's where the speed run is going to be starting in earnest. You're going to be seeing a little bit of everything. It's going to be a short chapter. We're not really expecting more than like a minute 20, minute 30 in this chapter, but you're going to be seeing like all the tricks that we're going to be performing. Like we're obviously going to be watching the hyper dashes and the wall bounces, but we're also going to be seeing a little bit of advanced tech here and there as we go throughout the Yeah, so we're underway here. We're already seeing like a lot of wall bounces to just get high as possible, as fast as possible. And the wall bounce is just like, jumping up against the wall to kind of get a little bit more height off of the jump dash from Davesterio to jump over that little island of spikes. Same thing for Blueye here. Very well done. That reverse hyper dash is not an easy trick to pull off. Requires a ton of practice. Yeah, both runners executing really solidly here through City so far. Yeah, Blueye and Dave both getting that really solid extended hyper dash to kind of skip having to make this platform fall down. Alright, so now we're going to be seeing Blueye and Davesterio come up on the first spike above the run. So there we go. It looks like they're jumping off the spikes and that's dangerous. But they're basically just wall jumping off the spike wall, and then they go into this like last green of City with the neutral wall jumps. Both runners, really nice stuff through City. I think both got a sub 2 out of City combined. Yeah, 156 for Blueye, 157 for Davesterio. So Blueye with a very slight lead coming out of the first chapter. Alright, so now we're starting here in Old Side, and Old Side is a very interesting chapter because it's kind of about keeping your movement fluid. You're basically just looking to... Ooh, Davesterio not getting the extended hyper to kind of sneak under that pillar, so that's going to give Blueye a little bit of breathing room in the early going. Oh, and Blueye just a little bit early trying to dash through the dream block. So dashing through the dream blocks, if you run into a wall or any part of a wall, that will just be an insta-kill because like you'll just get squished. But again, that's not really going to be setting Blueye back. There are a couple opportunities for some time loss later in the chapter, but that was just a very quick death, didn't really bring too far back. It did bring Dave just a little bit closer here in the early going though. Alright, so Blueye doing very well in the battle line chase, threading the needle between two of those three battle lines just to like get through that screen as quickly as possible. Now on the last screen of the battle line chase here, near the end, just has to activate these 3 key coins, and yep, gets that. Very well done. Davesterio using that nice little shortcut to continue falling to save a little bit of time here. Now they're going to be activating these key coins. Alright, yeah, really solid stuff from both runners here, and now they're in the awake portion of the chapter where there's nothing that can really kill you in these chapters, so basically just have to do everything that you can not to kill your momentum. Oh, Blueye getting hung up on the wall a little bit there, but otherwise recovering, now just moving very well. And Dave is also moving pretty fast through awake here, but Blueye's going to be the first one out of the chapter. Yeah, 3:56 on their timer, and Dave is going to be about 12 seconds behind, coming out with a 4:08 out of 0. Alright, so yeah, still pretty close, but this chapter here, Celestial Resort, can definitely be a major point of divergence in one of these races, because now, rather than like the first 2 chapters kind of emphasize freedom of movement as attempts to get players acclimated with the game, now it's testing how well you can actually use that movement because we're going to be getting these tight cycles we have to navigate in. Yeah, Blueye here on the first screen. This game really just throws all it has in you in this like first screen with this long room with that long cycle, but Blueye gets it on the second try. They might be able to save a little time getting it on the first try here. Well done. Blueye, maybe a little bit nervous coming into chapter 3. This is a very difficult chapter to try to navigate. It does demand a lot from you. Oh, gets that nice wave dash, just saves a little bit of time. Dave taking that screen just a little bit slower, but again, not too meaningfully much. Yeah, Dave has definitely made up time, just like, ooh, that's a not great. Great death from Blueye, so... Oh, but Dave having a little bit... It looked like something came up on their screen that may have just, like, thrown off their rhythm a little bit. But, again, nice recovery here. Yeah, still pretty close stuff here as we're coming up into the huge mess checkpoint. Yeah, so huge mess begins with this large maze of books and tiles and boxes that you have to navigate. This is like one of the trickier portions of the run to like kind of nail down. Oh, Blueye. Okay. Yeah, so Blueye needed to activate that cutscene before he could skip it. Had he tried to skip that cutscene before it was activated, he would have retried. That would have put him back at the start of the screen that Dave's now on, and that would have been a significant time loss. So really nice stuff from Blueye, just taking it a little bit slowly, just making sure that he was on the right button. Dave with the first try cutscene skip, very nice. And now we're in the huge mess chapter. Oh, Blueye having a little bit of trouble with that vertical spike jump. Okay. Alright, yeah, nearly plummeted down below and had to retry that spike jump, but yeah, recovers it. Very nice save. Dave gets that, I believe that was a second try spike jump. Yeah, so as you can see, we are now clearing out this huge mess maze. So as you clear out more of the maze, different platforms from different sections of this level will kind of disappear, so it does get progressively harder. Ooh, Dave, a little bit of trouble setting up on that platform, but yeah, nice recovery. Alright, so Blueye hits the second checkpoint at 6:49, and Davesterio is coming up on that checkpoint here, so ooh. I was trying to go for that wall bounce there, but unfortunately just didn't time it quite right and ended up hitting the spikes before he hit his dash. Meanwhile, Blueye is going to be going for a couple rooms with some cycle skips. Oh, runs into the dust bunny there, and yeah, he's resetting the cycle. So this game will give you two cycles. There's one that you get when you enter a room, one that you get when you die in a room. Blueye opted to reset the cycle because he's more comfortable with the entry cycle and death cycle, and it pays off for him, gets it on the second attempt. And meanwhile, Dave opting not to go for the cycle skip, and they get that strat on their first attempt there. So they have picked up a little bit of time with Blueye because they didn't have to like reset the screen or anything. Oh, a little bit of trouble getting to the key for Davesterio though. So yeah, both runners very minor mistakes here and there, and that hasn't really allowed like anyone to kind of like. I don't think Blueye's really lost a portion of the 12-second lead that they had coming up in here, and yeah, this is still like pretty close stuff so far. And we get Blueye here coming up through the elevator shaft. Okay, so Blueye's going to be going for a demo dash, where they're going to be oh, very nice first try demo dash. Yeah, that was a crouch dash that they had to change into a normal dash, and like that's a frame perfect, pixel perfect trick that they just pulled off right there. So yeah, we'll see if Dave can go for that, but otherwise that's going to be a lot of time that Blueye just picked up on Davesterio. Nope. Yeah, Dave's not going to be going for that. That is a trick that requires a lot of practice. It requires a lot of setup. It requires that. It's just a very hard trick for that to like pull off on the first attempt. So yeah, Blueye's probably going to be pretty confident heading into this Oshiro fight, as Davesterio is going to be heading into that same section after this pretty long room here. Blueye taking a very quick death in this room with the horizontal spike crystals, but again, that's if you're going to take any death in the Oshiro section, you probably want to make it that one, because like that's not a major time loss at all. Yeah, it gets through the last Oshiro room quite nicely. So yeah, really good stuff from Blueye at the end of Celeste Resort there. So out of there with a 9:17 on their timer. So alright, so Davesterio is going to be here on the last few screens of the Oshiro fight. Meanwhile, Blueye here starting on Golden Ridge, and it's looking like Blueye is going to be having decently coming out of Resort, but Ridge kind of has a way of pulling of like pulling races back close again. Ooh, Dave taking a death in the last Oshira room though, so that's not only going to be setting him back because he already lost all the progress that he made through this room, but now he's going to be on a slower cycle. So this room that he has to navigate now is different than the room that you get from the entry. But Dave gets it on the second attempt there, so 10-13 coming out of Celestial Resort. So it's about a minute difference between their chapter complete times. But again, Bridge is not a level to be underestimated. Alright, so Blueye nailing that spike up on the first try, so yeah, there's a nifty little auto scroller skip that he got there, and then after these wall bounces, we're probably gonna be coming up. Ooh! Yeah, quick death to that last spike there. Yeah, now we're coming up on this auto scroll skip here as Dave is now starting to hit their own journey through the... Oh, nice backup from Blueye. They did not get the momentum that they quite wanted off that dash block, but they were able to save it by running back into that directional block and just riding that the vanilla way. So yeah, really good recognition, really good game knowledge from Blueye, knowing that they could save it, and that was able to save them more time than retrying the auto scroller skip would have cost. Alright, nice first try auto scroller skip, and that's green for Davesterio as Blueye having a little bit of trouble setting up these wave dashes on the screen to kind of like skip having to take the slower green bubble. Alright, a nice auto scroller skip from Davesterio, taking it a little bit safer than Blueye was originally going to be taking it. Ooh, but doesn't get the dash refresh off of that platform, so has to go for the retry, but that's... yeah, it's pretty decent there, and... oh, Blueye takes a death going for the cycle skip in this room, but it looks like they should be getting it on second attempt. Yeah, it gets that wall bounce off of that very small wall, and they're going to be starting in the harsh wind section, where they're going to be dealing with the harsh wind blowing them back, and also snowballs in the next couple screens here. Ooh, misses the dash bubble there. Yeah, so now we're in the snowball section for Blueye. Ooh, takes one. Yeah, and again, this is another cycle-based room, so Blueye may be on a different snowball cycle, but gets it on that second attempt, able to skip 2 of those springs. Meanwhile, we got Davesterio there on the last couple screens before the harsh wind section, going for this cycle skip themselves. Yeah, very nice first try there. Oh, and nice save from Blueye there. Yeah, using the harsh wind to their advantage. The harsh wind just blowing them back into that dash bubble right as it refreshed, so he was able to make a second go at this room. So yeah, a little bit of trouble in this chapter, but yeah, getting out of there with a 1247. Meanwhile, we get Davesterio here. Oh, misdirected their dash. Yeah, they were talking about that before this race, how they occasionally get misdirects running on PC as opposed to Switch, and that kind of was born to fruition there, just from they were trying to like dash up, it looked like, but they dashed down. Oh, and yeah, they may be a little bit rattled from that death near the end there, near the end of that screen there, just like a little bit of trouble in that room with the 4 springs. Alright, so as Davesterio gets that last snowball room just in these last few rooms of Golden Ridge here, Blueye is starting in Mirror Temple, and Mirror Temple is kind of divided into 2 parts. You get this first section here that's just really cool movement, and then at the end you're going to be seeing couple of the more difficult sections that this game can throw at you. So Blueye setting up here. Oh, doesn't get the hyper dash off of the dash platform. They were trying to ride the momentum off that dash platform all the way across these 2 screens. Unfortunately, didn't quite get the strat that they were going for. Yeah, still able to recover, and yeah, riding this bubble here as Davesterio starting their own trip into the temple. Blueye in this long room with the cycle, but he was able to make it through. Davesterio coming up on this room here. Yeah, really solid strats to that room. Able to just wave dash and skip a couple screens. Alright, so Blueye95 starting here with the Seeker tutorial. So they're going to be coming into the unraveling screen. So Seekers, like everything else in this game, they are not RNG. So you're going to be seeing a lot of strats that are kind of intended to kind of manipulate the Seekers into kind of helping us out a little bit. Meanwhile, Davesterio also a little bit of a flub there, trying to get the momentum off that dash platform, but again, was able to get their backups pretty neatly. Ooh, Dave taking a death in this long room, so yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a slower cycle that he's going to be on. Oh, and another death. They were trying to like get to that last dash bubble without taking a wall jump just to save that little bit of time, but that ended up costing them a significant amount, as Blueye has been making really nice progress through the unraveling section. Yeah, moving just correctly enough so that they are able to predict what the Seekers are going to do, and they're able to kind of like move around what the Seekers are doing. Yeah, really nice stuff in the last room for Blueye, as Davesterio is in their own secret tutorial, so they're going to be starting in unwrapping here. Alright, Blueye coming up on Surge Skip. Oh yeah, gets one of the faster strats for that room. So yeah, really well done for Blueye, Davesterio, and the Hall of Many cutscene skips. Alright, so Davesterio starting here on the Seeker section. And very nice stuff. Moving correctly enough so that the Seeker will run into that dash coin for them, so they don't have to go out of their way to grab it. Meanwhile, Blueye here starting on the Theo section. The Theo section is a very difficult, very technical part of this game because you have to be moving fast while holding this crystal that has our friend from the plot in it. So yeah, we can't dash while we're holding Theo, so what we have to do is we have to throw Theo, then we have to execute a hyper dash and catch him in mid-air in order to, like, move quickly through this section. And Blueye's even going for a couple Theo Ultras where they're executing a hyper dash and then executing another downright dash into that so that they're just able to try to move as fast as possible and just get momentum off that dash platform. Yeah, a little bit of mistiming here as Davesterio gets Surge Skip. Oh, wow, okay, so Blueye was trying to kind of neutral jump to throw Theo over the section. Yeah, you're going to see what they were trying to do right there. Very nice on the second try, but the first try, they weren't able to get Theo over, but Madeline launched over, and Blueye just immediately recognized there was no way to recover from that. They had to restart the room because they couldn't grab Theo to bring him across the screen and get out of there. So yeah, that's a pretty significant time loss for Blueye. So yeah, there was some shakiness throughout that escape section, so Davesterio might be able to make up some time here, but we're going to have to see where Blueye's time is when they start reflection here. Yeah, so Blueye at about 1754. Ooh, Dave. Yeah, again, if you're off strat in these secret rooms and you can't predict the secret behavior, you kind of have to figure out on the fly what you're doing. So Davesterio had some nice improv to kind of neutralize the seeker and buy him some time to get to the key coin there to progress through the room, but unfortunately not enough time because the Seeker came back to life. Alright, so Blueye now going for a leg skip. First try, very nice. That is a very tight wall bounce to get off that wall. And Yeah, it's like a very narrow pixel window, but Blueye, very well practiced, gets it first try, very nice. And now they're going to be navigating this kind of mazy portion of the level with a lot of feathers. And feather movement can be really weird because if you're just a little bit off with your movement in these sections, you'll just run into spikes and have to restart one of these long rooms. Yeah, so Davesterio screen, 1923 coming out of Temple. So yeah, Blueye may not be having the run that they're looking for, but Davesterio has not so far been able to capitalize. But again, there's still plenty of time to get caught up in this race. Yeah, Reflection and Summit are two of the longest chapters, or the two longest chapters, I should say. Alright, so Davesterio going here for leg skip. Oh, and very nice first try from Dave. Yeah, so hopefully they can ride the momentum off that leg skip and, you know, maybe enjoy a solid reflection here. Blueye, after a little bit of hang-ups like on some of the earlier screen reflections, they seem to be moving through this hollows maze pretty well. Yeah, Blueye sneaking under the spikes there to just kind of like skip, having to move that Kevin block out of the way. Oh, very nice bumper skip from Blueye there. Yeah, hitting one of those bumpers at just the right time and in just the right position to get a boost in the correct direction and just kind of propel themselves with great distance over. Oh, Dave, looked like they just barely got clipped by some spikes at the end of this ride here. Yeah, gets it on that attempt very well. Alright, so now Blueye is in one of his favorite sections to remark upon, I know, the reflection checkpoint of Reflection. And basically, like, the major screening checkpoint is this ravine here, where you can kind of direct yourself down the middle to avoid having to navigate this, like, long mess of spikes and bumpers, which, you know, we're all thankful that they put that checkpoint in there. But Blueye taking a death in this swimming section. It's the only swimming section of the run, so it takes a lot of practice just to kind of get used to the water physics, because that's really the only time that you're going to be encountering them in any meaningful fashion. Alright, but now we're riding the Kevin block here. Oh, doesn't quite get enough momentum to get the battle line boost. Yeah, they were going to be trying to kind of like hyper dash off the Kevin block at just the right time to just propel them all the way through the tunnel at, you know, really great speed, but unfortunately was starting the battle line fight where they're just going to be knocking themselves into battle line over and over again, and it's just about holding your nerve, because if you take a death, especially at the end of these long rooms, you have to kind of replay the entire room, and that includes these, you know, kind of short, you know, cutscene-ish type things where battle line knocks you back and you're just kind of suspended in midair and just have to redirect yourself to the ground as soon as you can to begin movement technique together. And not too much issue in the early going here, as Davesterio in the reflection section as well. They are going to be reaching the ravine here very shortly. Just have to ride this Kevin block down, and they are holding on to this Kevin block because the Kevin block it travels downwards slightly faster than Madeline does, who doesn't quite get the setup they're looking for, so they will have to take a safety here. Yeah, so that platform does represent a checkpoint, so if they had taken a death on those spikes, they would have just gone back to that checkpoint rather than the top of the screen. So yeah, very nice recognition from Davesterio, very quick on the fly thinking. Alright, and very nice battle line boost from Davesterio. Yes, and they're going to be starting battle line fight here as Blueye is... Yeah, they seem to have worked through a significant chunk of it, getting to the second phase of the battle line fight. Yeah, so the second phase of the battle line fight, now we got platforms that are moving up and down like during these sections rather than like after these sections. As you can kind of see on Davesterio's screen, he's knocking into battle line and then the platforms fall. Now Blueye just has to deal with platforms that are falling in the middle of the fight. Alright, we got Blueye on this last screen here. Again, this is like one of the longer screens, but they're getting out of there, and they're going to be getting their double dash at the end of this sort of long hallway as Davesterio in the middle of the battle line fight. Yeah, both runners executing really nicely through the ending part of this chapter 6 so Alright, so Blueye wraps up chapter 6 with a 24-28 as Davesterio is in the is about to start their second phase of battle line, and now Blueye is going to be starting the summit. Yeah, so now that Blueye has the double dash, which Dave should be getting in a couple screens here, basically the level design is kind of twisted to accommodate for that. Like, you're going to be seeing a lot of long rooms without floors that you're just trying to get through. And yeah, your ability to execute is really testing this section because, you know, if you were having trouble acclimating to this game with one dash, it's very difficult to acclimate with two dashes. But Blueye, you know, very seasoned, very experienced with this game, having no trouble in this first section of Summit, the Reflection remix. So they're going to be heading off to the Forsaken City remix as Davesterio. Yeah, gets that final battle line hit, going to be getting their own pink hair and double dash. Davesterio, yeah, chapter time or file time of 26:18 coming out of Reflection. So it's been a really solid run from both runners here. Yeah, Blueye getting that nice cycle skip at the end of 500 meters to just shave off a little bit of time. Now they're going to be coming up here on 1,000 meters. So I think at Blueye's level, we're going to be seeing some hyper dashes out of dream blocks where, like, right after you exit the dream block, you have like a very limited window where you can execute a hyper dash out of these dream blocks, and it looks like a mid-air hyper dash, and you don't really like see it in the you know, old site proper, just because, you know, it's a very hard thing to go for, and you don't really have another dash to back it up in that chapter. But here, you might be seeing it just a little bit coming up on this screen here as Davesterio starting here on Summit, already on the battle line orb section of 0 meter. Dave with a very minor death in 500 meter as Blueye here is starting on 1500, and 1500 has, it's a major frustration point, especially with this room here with the long cycle. Yeah, this room can definitely eat up a lot of time if you're even like a little bit off, but Blueye able to get it through it first try, very well done. Yeah, now in this room that is affectionately referred to as the triple ultra room. Yeah, nails all three of those ultra dashes just to make that cycle just like not even a worry. Very nice stuff from 1500 from Blueye. Oh, Dave, yeah. Okay, so that was like a lot of things happened to them at once. They failed the Dream Hyper, but they realized that they had enough of a dash to go back and hit the spring, but then like they just ran out of enough saves and they kind of like clipped the spikes. But again, that was very good recognition to just kind of assess the geography of the level and figure out like where they could go to kind of continue forward momentum through that screen. And yeah, they're going to be continuing that forward momentum into 1500 meter after this battle line oop section as Blueye. Ooh. Yeah, Blueye's going for this auto scroller skip in the screen, but these moving platforms, if they run into a wall, they just cease to be. And Blueye just a little bit off of the positioning, and the directional platform just ceased to be, but gets that attempt. And Blueye with very nice movement through 2000 meter as Dave just barely misdirects the ultra dash, and yeah, they're opting to reset the cycle here rather than going for something else. Ooh. And again, like, doesn't quite get the momentum that they need from the ultra dash, so they had to opt to activate the key coin, just get through that section a little bit slower, but again, they get through, and that's the most important thing, just getting through 1500 meter. Alright, so Davesterio with the battle line oops as Blueye here in 2500 meter, which is the Mirror Temple remix, which means all the cool movement in Mirror Temple without any of the annoying seekers. I got some really nice movement with the double wave dashes, and now, yeah, collecting that key, getting the key skip first. Alright, and Blueye opting to activate the doors in this room, so, you know, the nice door skip, obviously that's not quite as fast as door skip, but it's fast enough that, you know, we don't, it's kind of negligible. It's not going to cost Blueye a ton of time here. Just opting for safety rather than just trying to go through the doors. We can definitely respect that as Davesterio here in this auto-scroller room. They're going to be going for a small auto-scroller skip to just kind of save like maybe half a second as opposed to running that platform all the way up, but yeah, still gets it very nice. Alright, so Blueye here is starting at 3000 meter, which after all the remixes is going to be the first portion of original content in the summit level. So basically, like, the first part is going to be this downdraft section, where we got this wind that's kind of forcing gravity downwards on us. So, takes a very small death, but yeah, just able to pick it right back up. Yeah, we got gravity forcing us down. Well, that was pretty interesting. Yeah, it didn't land on that crumbling platform long enough for it to actually activate, so it was able to save that. So yeah, really cool stuff. So yeah, gravity forcing us down. It's a very execution-heavy section. A couple minor flubs here from Blueye so far in the early goings, but again, nothing that he can't really recover from. Yeah, it gets those two wall bounces now with these vertical dash crystals. And they're going to be moving on to updraft, where now the physics are floaty, and you get these really long flag checkpoints, so kind of got to hold your nerve through this section as Davesterio here in 2500 meter. Yeah, gonna be going for the a little bit too much momentum, but gets Needle Thread on the second attempt. And also opting for door skip. Alright, very nice. You're seeing those switches used today. Alright, so Davesterio in this fairly long room of 2500 meter as Blueye on this very long flag checkpoint, but both of them appear to be getting it. Yeah, both runners are going to be moving on to the next section very next. Blueye a little bit caught up here on flag 11. Yeah, just a couple of misdirects and opting to make sure that they collect flag 10 there just as an additional safety so that they know that they can get through that next flag and not lose more time than they already did on 11 there. And not opting for flag 8. Right, and rewarded for it. They are just going to be moving on. As Davesterio starting in downdraft here. Alright, Davesterio, really solid movement all throughout downdraft. So yeah, they're going to be getting onto updraft here, but right now Blueye is in pretty commanding position right now. They just have 3 more flags to get through, and if they can get through them pretty shortly, they will be the winner of the first game of the series. Ooh, but that minor misdirect is not going to be what they're looking for. Yeah, it has to go all the way back down, has to ride that feather again, and yeah, taking it a little bit slower, making sure that their position is correct. Yeah, there goes Blueye up flag 1. And they have finished with a time of 34-18. So yeah, really solid run from Blueye. Gets the first win of the series. So yeah, get some GGs in chat for Blueye. That was a really nice run from them. Yeah, they're winning game 1. So if they win game 2, the series will be over. So Davesterio probably gonna be looking to recover, like just have a really solid run to this to kind of give them some momentum heading into the next race here. Oh, nice neutral there from Davesterio near the end of the run. Yeah, sometimes the saves in this game are like just truly impressive, just because like it requires a lot of really quick thinking, a lot of really quick assessment of where you are, what options you have at your disposal. Like it requires a lot of really good game knowledge. So yeah, and sometimes you actually like need that knowledge to just advance quickly. Like your ability to kind of like save a run, to just like kind of keep calm when things go wrong, and just kind of make everything right. That can definitely be, something that like aids you in your ability to like advance through the ranks in this game. All right, so Davesterio on the final climb here. Going to be finishing out race 1 with a 36-14. So yeah, get some more GGs in chat for Davesterio. Really solid run from them. Really solid game 1. Looking forward to game 2 coming up very short. All right, so both runners are going to be taking a very quick break after game 1 here to just kind of refresh themselves, maybe get some water, just race and get ready for race 2. So just going to be a quick 1-2 minute break, and we'll get game 2 here started for you shortly. All right, so runners are rested up, and we are going to get game 2 of the series underway here. All right, so here we go in prologue again. The same bunny hops that we're familiar with. Blueye getting a little bit caught up on one of the pillars here, but nothing too much that we're going to be worrying. All right, so the crow teaches us how to dash in case we forgot, and now the game is going to tell us we can do this. You know, it's always a nice little encouraging screen. Just see at the start of the run, you know, just like acknowledgement that someone out there believes in us. So yeah, just real nice you can do. All right, and then back in chapter 1, and just a couple minor mistakes from Davesterio here in the early going. And nothing too much that we're going to be worrying about. Again, both runners nailing that difficult reverse hyper dash very well. So yeah, that's going to definitely be something encouraging heading into this part. And as you can kind of see on screen right now, that's not really going to be those couple like early flops from Davesterio, not really something that's going to be putting them too far behind. Right, so both Blueye and Dave over that gap. Yeah, Blueye gets that nice first try spike jump, and now going to be going for these neutral wall jumps to, again, avoid having to ride that zipper block on the right side of the screen. Davesterio getting the same thing. So yeah, very nice times from both runners. Blueye, I think both were at least close to sub 2. Yeah, Blueye at 1:55 coming out of chapter 1, Davesterio at 2:01. All right, so we get the nice RTA sync to kick off old side here, which is always a treat to see. Celeste does use in-game timer, as you can kind of see in both the corner of the screen and also like in the next to the runners' names, the in-game timer that's kind of built into Celeste. So that's what we use to score these races. Whoever has the lower in-game time will win the race. But again, RTA sync, always appreciated, never going to complain. All right, and both runners doing very well here in the battle line chase sequence. And both runners moving very comfortably in these early goings here. Maybe a couple minor flops on that screen for Blueye, but again, nothing that's going to be too disastrous as compared to like a death on any of these screens. All right, so yeah, we're both coming up here on the last screen of battle line chase again, having to activate these key coins and just moving as fast as possible, just get out of the way of the battle lines. Moving very intimidatingly because they mimic your movements, and battle lines going, oh, Dave has to go back for the key coin, but I was able to recognize that just in time and was able to get out of that screen very quickly, and now we're back in Awake. And and Awake is just like always a treat to watch in the hands of like, you know, high level runners like this, just because, you know, like it just has like this really cool sense of flow to it. Just, yeah, you can definitely see like, you know, one of the interesting things about speed tech, how in this game you retain your momentum and refresh your dash out of a screen transition, and it's really cool to see how runners kind of like use that little bit of tech to their advantage. So yeah, really solid movement for Blueye there, getting out of there with a 3:53. Okay, and Dave with a 4, so a little bit further behind coming out of the chapter, but again, that's a difference that can be easily made up in this chapter here. Yeah, Blueye moving very confidently through that. Ooh, okay, well. Just a minor dive into the spikes, and that's going to put him on the death cycle, but the death cycle here is noticeably slower than the entrance cycle, so Blueye just happens to just take that, you know, on that attempt there. Yeah, the intro to Celeste Resort here going much more smoothly, you know, that one death aside for Blueye than it did in the first race, so yeah, they did mention that their pre-3K meter gold split in Summit was a gold, so that may have been giving them a renewed sense of confidence heading into this race. So, yeah, just really cool stuff from him. Davesterio, still not too far behind so far. Just in this room with the key coins here, just has to activate these. Right, Blueye triggers the cutscene a little bit. Ooh, a little bit of stumbles here in the early going of Huge Mess. And yeah, has to take that cycle a little bit slow just to avoid getting caught up and taking another death. Yeah, able to get through it, and we get Davesterio here. Yeah, handles that room very nicely. Okay, really good in that screen from Blueye. So they were flashing red at the end of that screen there, which means that they were out of stamina, but they were able to kind of realize, you know, that they were able to remember, like, in that moment that, like, wall kicks don't, you know, spend any stamina, that, like, they could still progress through that screen, even though they weren't able to hold on to any walls. So, yeah, really nice stuff. Get Blueye hitting that button at 6:31. Davesterio has made up maybe just a little bit of time with that 6:45 on the button. Meanwhile, Blueye here on the last room of towels gets a cycle skip first try. Very nice. Alright, so as Davesterio hits the last button of the room, we get Blueye coming into the elevator shaft, and obviously in the last race, they got that demo dash first try, so they're going to be hoping to replicate that success. Ooh, but taking a death on this climb up the first screen of the elevator shaft, which is the only part of the elevator shaft checkpoint that actually is an elevator shaft. You know, the game is good at naming things. Oh, Blueye having a little bit of trouble in this key. Oh, they miss a coin, so Dave now has the RTA lead, but there is still a difference in their in-game timer, so Blueye is still a little bit ahead. Yeah, Davesterio has definitely made up a little bit of time, though. Blueye can gain a significant portion of that lead back if they can get Demo Dash first try on this screen here. Yes, Davesterio again opting not to Demo Dash, and Blueye setting up the checkpoint here. So yeah, dying on this attempt, had he failed on that attempt without setting up the checkpoint, they would have been sent all the way to the beginning of the previous screen. So it's very crucial that they kind of set up that safety just so they don't lose too much time. And yeah, it gets it, but took them several attempts to actually get it. But Davesterio looked like they had a little bit of trouble in the quad hyper room, so yeah, despite Blueye having a little bit of trouble getting Demo Dash, they were still able to kind of like maintain their lead on Davesterio by like actually getting it. Alright, so both runners here in the Oshiro chase sequence. And it looks like another couple hiccups here. It's kind of like set Blueye back maybe about a second here, but again, overall really solid movement. Ooh, yeah, Davesterio. So they are not on cycle in that last stream, so they opted to just kind of like play it safe a little bit. Meanwhile, Blueye also had to play it safe just a little. So yeah, 924 for Davesterio and looked like a 918 for Blueye. So 6-second lead heading into Golden Ridge. Oh, Blueye with the nice, bubble skip there. Yeah, able to, using the momentum from the previous room to just kind of get into that room and just skip as much of that room as they possibly could. And yeah, just skipping, having to ride in some of these bubbles, which, they're not that slow as compared to some of the other mechanics of this game, looking at U-Feathers, but, still kind of slow. And you definitely just want to be like moving with Madeline as much as you possibly can. So really nice from Blueye. Oh, it looked like Dave took a death trying to get some hyper dashes off of clouds in that room, so yeah, that's gonna set them a little bit back. Blueye having just a slightly better beginning to their Ridge chapter so far. So Blueye, ooh, again, a little bit of trouble with auto-scroller skip, but again, having just enough reaction time to save it and just ride that block. So yeah, really good stuff. Missing the extended hyperdash off of this platform here. Gets on that attempt, and Davesterio also getting it on that attempt, was able to get their own auto-scroller skip, so very close stuff here. Yeah, really interesting to see like both their different approaches to that screen. Like Blueye started with a reverse hyper dash off that narrow platform, whereas Davesterio opted to wave dash into it. Both of them kind of extending their dash. Ooh, Dave taking a small death there, but fortunately kind of saved by the fact that that's one of the few screens in this game that has a mid-screen checkpoint. All right, both runners here in this barely unskippable auto-scroller, they're able to get a hyper dash at the end of that room to shave a little bit of time off. Now going for the cycle skip again. Ooh, Dave takes a death trying to set it up, and I don't think, they don't have it quite in time, so they have to wait for the wind to blow because they're not able to reach that dash bubble when that wind is blowing because the wind is just going to completely impede their progress. So had to wait it out, going to lose a little bit of time to that. Alright, so both runners dealing with snowballs here. Alright, yeah, very nice to the snowball section from Blueye. And we get Dave here in this last snowball screen of Ridge. Oh, very solid movement. Oh, okay. They were able to save it. They still had a dash. Very nice. Both runners very solid here in Golden Ridge. It's going to be Blueye that's going to be the first to get out of this chapter. Yeah, 12:33 for Blueye, and then we get a 12:53 for Davesterio. So yeah, Blueye extending their lead just a little bit, but again, Davesterio still knocking on that door. Still anything that can happen in this race. like Blueye had a little bit too much of reverse momentum going for a reverse hyper dash off this platform, but was able to kind of snare it. And Dave kind of took a death to the spikes on that attempt, but was able to, both runners able to get it on their second attempt. Alright, so Blueye coming up on this room here. They both had trouble with the skip here. Okay, so Blueye was able to get the momentum off the dash platform, but wasn't able to get the full skip that involves like them nailing a corner boost to kind of like get all the way across that second screen there. Alright, Davesterio also able to get the dash platform momentum, but not able to get the corner boost. Ooh, almost able to save it, but not quite able to latch onto that dash platform, so... And having a little bit of trouble thinking of their next move here. Yeah, able to finally make progress, but Blueye has really extended their lead here in the early goings here of Mirror Temple. Oh, and Dave overshooting that initial red bubble there, so that's going to be putting them on a slower cycle here. So, oh yeah, in that dash bubble. Usually you'll see runners just kind of press dash immediately when they enter that bubble so to get that bubble going as fast as possible, but Davesterio was able to recognize that if you don't hit dash, the bubble will just pause a little bit, and that allowed the spikes a little bit of room to separate, and Davesterio was able to make it. Alright, so both runners starting here in Unravel, making very good use of the Seekers and making sure that they're getting out of their way here. Like going for a strat in this room that involves an Ultra Dash, but wasn't able to get to the Seeker bot that they were looking for to kind of knock that Seeker into one of the key coins, but was able to recover very nicely. Very solid stuff in Unraveling for Blueye. Especially in that last room there. Like, if your movement is even just a little bit off, that Seeker is going to move in ways that you don't necessarily expect, and it's very hard to react with sometimes. Meanwhile, we get Dave in this room as well. Right, very nice stuff. Blueye getting surge skip there. Davesterio is going to be coming up on that in just a little bit. Alright, really nice on surge skip there from Dave, and yeah, they're just a couple screens away from the Theo escape section that Blueye is starting. So both runners didn't really have the Theo escape that they're looking for in first race, so we're hoping that they're able to recover here. Oh, really nice from Blueye, knocking into that Seeker a couple times to make sure that Seeker was neutralized and wouldn't be trying to heck up the time that they're having here. Alright, so Davesterio playing it a little bit safe to make sure that they were able to hop over that Seeker. Meanwhile, Blueye having had a little bit of trouble in that room, but was able to recover nicely. And Blueye again mistiming their dash there, and ooh, that Seeker nearly got him, and it kind of looks like they were reacting. I think they kind of maybe expected to die there because that last pillar kind of landed in the, kind of divided them like at just the last possible moment, and I think Blueye was kind of surprised by that. You know, Davesterio getting that movement off the dash platform, so really solid stuff there. Ooh, but this is the corner. Okay, they're safe from the Seeker, so. And Davesterio is going to be coming up onto the last room of escape as Blueye navigating this last corridor very nicely. Yeah, really solid stuff. Yeah, Blueye getting out of Mirror Temple with the 1743. Davesterio in this last room, they're going to be trying to time their dash, as you may have guessed, from Blue Eye screen, so that these shockwaves from that eyeball don't really affect their movement at all. A little bit of hang up, but 1811, still a very nice time. Right, Blue Eye gets like skip on first attempt. Very well done. Davesterio's navigating upwards through this feather introduction screen. Oh, minor miss menu, but nothing too costly. Takes a little bit of time to set up search skip, and that investment pays off. Late skip, sorry. Yeah, Blue Eye there with the very nice neutral jumps off that wall to avoid having to ride a feather all the way over. Ooh, and just trying to get to that last falling platform to ensure that these crush blocks, affectionately referred to as Kevin blocks by the community because of the delightful noise that they make, made by a man named Kevin. Trying to get that Kevin screen to flow through the screen. Davesterio is going to be trying that exact same thing on the screen. Missed the first attempt. Oh, but there we go. Very nice. Yeah, just a minor time save, but Celeste is kind of game where, you know, just like minor little bits of efficiency, just getting all those on like all these screens in the game, because there's like a way to save time on like every single screen of the game. That's, and like if you can collect enough of those, like you're in a pretty solid position for yourself. But yeah, now both runners just kind of navigating this mazy portion of the game, the hollows checkpoint. Blue Eye here in this long room. Yeah, it gets out of the bumper's way, yeah. A lot of what makes this chapter difficult is that you have these feathers which kind of like alter the way you move through these screens, and you also get these bumpers where you're trying to move into them at specific directions. If you're even like a pixel off, but the way you hit them, they'll bump you in a way that you don't really expect. Yeah, that screen that Davesterio just cleared, very difficult to pull off, but yeah, both runners able to navigate it. Blue Eye able to get through the full ravine shortcut, very well done. Meanwhile, Davesterio. Okay, so yeah, they're opting to take the safety with this checkpoint there on this attempt. They weren't confident in their ability to like make it through that ravine, and again, if you die at the end of the ravine, you go all the way to the top of the ravine. So very good investment there, and they're going to be after this last screen as Blue Eye has started their battle line fight. Yeah, this battle line fight going very well for both runners so far. This is definitely like one of the more memorable sections of the game as a casual experience, because you got this like really cool boss fight where you're using like actual platforming mechanics to defeat the boss and just kind of like get into submission, and you have this really memorable tune in the background. And the speedrun, like this is just like one of those sections that's just a joy to watch. Like you kind of want to sit back and just say, oh yeah, you just kind of want to sit back and watch that, but you know, Also have to remark on like all the things that are happening. Oh, Davesterio with the feather skip strat. I did not expect to see that from Davesterio. Really well done. And now I regret not noticing if they did that in their first run, because that those ultra dashes to skip that feather, those are super precise, and yeah, that's just like a really cool trick to watch, because like you can just instantly tell how like difficult that is. But Davesterio also having difficulty navigating these feathers, just like a little bit off with their movement and just getting into some spike, but gets out on that attempt. So Blueye95 here on the second phase of Battle Line fight with these moving platforms. Meanwhile, Day being told he's not a mountain climber, which we know is true, but which we know isn't true. Like, there definitely are mountain climbers, but Blueye here in the last room of the Battle Line fight, fourth to last room of Reflection as a whole, gets out of there, very well done. Davesterio on the second to last room of Battle Line. And this kind of double dash tutorial room that Blueye's on. This is another one of those rooms where you can't actually, there's very few opportunities to die, so you're just trying to like wall bounce as efficiently as possible to get up to the top of the screen as fast as possible. Blueye moving really solidly through that. 24:09 on their timer. So Blueye starting Summit here. So Blueye got out of Reflection with a 24:09. Davesterio getting out of there with a 24:52. So 43-second gap right now. Yeah, as you can see in Summit, like, again, Summit, longest level of the game, and there's plenty of opportunities to get caught up here. So and there's definitely opportunity for 43 seconds to be gained in Summit. So yeah, if y'all want to see a game 3, just get some hype in here for Davesterio. And Davesterio with really solid movement through the Summit base here. So definitely was able to pick up some time already on Blueye, who had a little bit of a shaky start to this level. Blueye here on the Forsaken City remix doesn't look to be letting that those early stumbles really get into them. And Blueye already in the last room of the 500 meter. Yeah, get that cycle skip really neatly. Yeah, just really clean the 500 meter, and hopefully we can see Davesterio kind of like match that clean movement here. Yeah, they're already at the Battle Line alley oop section here. Yeah, really nice stuff. So both runners are going to be over here in 500 or 1. Blueye moving very well with the Dream Hypers, whereas Davesterio took a very minor death on that screen there, just trying to like go for the safety spring. Yeah, Blueye's gonna be the first starting here in 1500 as Davesterio. Yeah, Davesterio not going for the Dream Hypers here, so. And again, like Dream Hypers are not gonna save you that much time. They just kind of. Yeah, perfectly acceptable to not go for those. And yeah, Davesterio in the Battleline alley-oop, but Blueye definitely picked up some time on Davesterio with that just one single mistake that occurred like kind of midway through that section. Yeah, here in 1500, Blueye didn't look like they kind of got tripped up by these dust bunny cycles here. So yeah, very well done here, Davesterio in this very long. Ooh, takes a death. So that's going to be putting them on a slightly slower cycle. Yeah, that's definitely a costly death because now they kind of have to redo all the progress that they made, and again, yeah, we're just waiting out that cycle. So while Blueye has just kind of been making progress through this screen. And now Davesterio, a little bit of flub here. Okay, yeah, it has to play just a little bit safe to ensure that they make it through this green safely. Yeah, they get out, but yeah, that's definitely going to give Blueye a little bit of breathing room as a journey through 2,000 meter. Blueye with a very nice setup for the auto skip. Just has to get the misses the wall bounce. Okay, they're able to save it. So gets himself the second attempt at the wall bounce. Very nice. Yeah, really solid recovery, really good awareness. And Dave having a little bit of trouble getting to this green bubble here. Yeah, we have the wind kind of blowing you. Your dash, like you don't really get the opportunity to like move forward because once your dash ends, you're just kind of left suspended in the air. So it's very important that you're able to like get enough distance to get to that green bubble. I was able to get it. Was able to get out of the only snowball room in 2000, but again, Blueye enjoying really solid movement. That's gonna definitely add to their lead as they head into 2,500 meter. Davesterio with a similar save, yeah. Yeah, again, that's just like really quick thinking on these runners' parts, and that's just like it's really amazing to watch the saves from time to time. Like obviously, just like moments where the execution really flows, like that's really cool. But it's really great to see like when runners have to like kind of think on their feet a little bit. So Blueye gets the key skip on that attempt, so very nice. A minor misdirect on this screen, but yeah, just able to get back to that point pretty quickly. Blueye opting for door skip again. Yeah, just have to kind of hold their nerve on this very long screen that ends the 2,500 meter checkpoint. So yeah, grabbing that battle line orb at 30:35. Yeah, Davesterio threading the needle. Ooh, just barely missing. Yeah, getting it on second attempt. So, yeah, and opting for door skip. So they are going to be just over a minute behind grabbing that last battle line orb. So, yeah, Blueye in pretty commanding position as they navigate through downdraft. It looks to be going a little bit smoother than it did in rate. Well, as I say that, but overall, still really good stuff. And yeah, again, it's just pretty commanding position, but you know, you never know. Davesterio is not out of it until their in-game time passes Blueye's final time. Davesterio, yeah, missing that dash crystal has to fall all the way down to get to the last dash crystal and have another go at that screen. Meanwhile, we get Blueye here in updrafts. So he's on flag 14 right now. Flags 14 and 13 are definitely a couple of the longest checkpoint flags like on these screens. Previously, checkpoints are marked by screen transitions. Now we got these cool little flags here. Yeah, gets through flag 14 without a problem. Gets through flag 13. So yeah, very nice for them to hold their nerve. Now we get Davesterio here in downdraft. Yeah, Davesterio getting to flag 15 here, and even though it might take a little bit to get them back in this race, they are operating with a personal best time of 35:13 and 33:21 on this screen here. This could potentially be another personal best for them. They just have to, again, just like, really acclimate themselves to the pressure and just kind of avoid any major slip-ups here. But yeah, this could be a really solid run for Davesterio here, regardless. But it's going to be Blueye here on flag 3. Again, taking it safe, remembering that flag 3 death in race 1, and just playing it as cool as they can. Getting flag 2. Yeah, Blueye here on flag 1. And they have closed out this race. They have closed out this series 2-0 with a final time of 33:45. So, yeah, really nice run from Blueye. Close to their own PB, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, that was a 0.4 second PB for Blueye. Wow, that is just an incredible effort. Yeah, it's always fun to PB in a tournament race, as Davesterio, okay, very close to that spike there, but yeah, just needs to get out of flag 2 here. Oh, okay. Yeah, barely had enough stamina to get them to the top of flag 2, but yeah, now they're just hustling up to the top of the mountain here. And yeah, there we go. This is a double race PB. So Davesterio losing the race, but just like, winning his goals with a 35:06. So yeah, get some GGs in chat. This is a really high, brilliant, really cool race to watch. Okay, so we are joined for a post-race interview initially here by Blueye, and also, hey, we got Davesterio on the call here. So, hey, GG on the win, Blueye, and congrats on the PBs.
Yeah. Hey, thanks. And yeah, GG's Blueye. That was intense, man.
Okay, so we are joined for a post-race interview
glad I signed up
here
for this
by Blueye, and also, hey, we got Davesterio on the call here. So, hey, GG on the win.
These two runs have been the most consistent I've been in, the last week for sure.
Yeah, the race setting definitely puts a different kind of mindset on you.
Yeah, for sure.
All I can say is, man, I'm so happy I PB'd with this new controller finally. This is like my first PB in over a month, like ever since I switched from the Switch. And yeah, it feels good to even though it was my last match in the tournament, to PB on that feels pretty dang good.
Congrats, dude. Welcome to the DS4 team.
Oh yeah, thanks. But yeah, GG's again, dude. Insane race. 34, insane time, man. Oh yeah, congrats on the PB. Yeah, you PB by like less than a second, right?
0.4 seconds.
Oh my. Yeah, congrats, dude.
I have to add, in the first race, my summit was ridiculously good. It was like a 6-minute entry into 3,000.
That is insane. That's
And
absolutely
then
insane.
it turned into a 940, and I was kind of mad. Because if that 3K was just according to my standards, that run would have PB'd as well.
Still 6 minutes going into 3K. That's
Yeah,
insane, man.
That was a 25-second gold. That was nuts.
I've had my early game was pretty funny, and then the first race I had a pop-up come up on my computer.
Huh.
I had weird, I don't know, just like weird vibes for like some of the early game, but then I noticed throughout both races when I settled into the late game, I was actually doing pretty solid. In terms of just like having a mindset, not getting flustered. But
Yeah.
but yeah, you know, it's a process. This game is an ongoing process, and when you get to this level, things start to get really insane. So yeah, again, Blue Eye, GG's, man, absolutely insane runs.
Definitely gonna rewatch this and see how he did as well.
Yeah,
Those
and
are
Artie
still really
Walsh.
good times.
I was just gonna say, Artie Walsh, thanks again for the commentary. Really appreciate it.
Yep.
Oh no, thank you guys for racing. This is like really, this is like really fun to watch, and yeah, it was definitely regrettable in the first race when that pop up happened because I know that's a little about flow, and the second something breaks that flow, it's just like really hard to get back.
Stream Deck just really wants to update.
Yeah, that was interesting. Usually it's my mid game that carries me through runs, but now it was Summit and Reflection. So
just becoming the summit god.
Maybe.
Well, anyways, I'm gonna be popping out of the call. I really appreciate it. GG's again, Blue Eye, and Artie Walsh. Thanks again for the com.
Yeah, thank you. GG to you. Congratulations on these races. Like I know, no one really likes to lose, but you put in a really solid effort and it was super.
Yeah, thanks again.
Yeah, and same to you, Blue Eye. And actually, one final question for you. I believe your next opponent is the one and only M Sushi. So you're looking forward
to. I'm just gonna try to PB, and if I get it, then then I can't complain. I'm not expecting to win, but I'll try it. If he messes up, I'll be sure to make him feel it.
All right, that's the spirit. Yeah, but yeah, GG to you, and congrats again.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the commentary as well.
No problem. So yeah, I will close it out. So yeah, if you've been watching this channel and you haven't been following, make sure you're hitting that follow button, and check out obviously we have links for the Twitter, the YouTube, and the Instagram, so be sure to check those out. And yeah, and be sure you're following the runners. They put a lot of hard work into these runs, and yeah, I believe that is going to be it for us here at twitch.tv/speedrun. So thank y'all for coming out and watching this. This is a really fun run. We'll see you again. Thanks, y'all.